There's something I wish I had known sooner on my healing journey, and I think it might take a little bit of pressure off your process. We don't actually have to dig through every gory detail of our past to resolve our relationships with things that happened or didn't happen. Many of us were taught, either directly or indirectly, that healing and growing meant understanding everything that has ever happened to us, that if we just analyze it enough, talk it through enough, or trace it back far enough, something will just finally click and will feel different. But the truth is, the past isn't hiding back there somewhere in the recesses of our minds. It's right here in the present moment. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it and stay stuck. Hello, friend, and welcome to Torches, Yoga, and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren, and I'll be your coach. If you are curious about mindfulness, healing, and practical habits that actually work, you're in the right place. Here we focus on simple but powerful practices grounded in ancient wisdom and modern science to care for both our brains and bodies. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. So, yeah, we can't move on from our parts of our past that are keeping us stuck if we aren't practicing present moment awareness. Replaying the scenario, rewriting it, trying to force positivity into it, trying to stay strong are ways to keep the hurts and disappointments alive. Every time it's visited in rumination and regret, we feed it energy. But the part that can change everything shows up in our present moments. It's our habits, reactions, and patterns that we fall into before we even realize we're doing it. Only the present can dissolve the past. Time can't do that. As Eckhart Tolle says, time can't free you of time. Waiting longer doesn't change patterns, awareness does. The past lives in the present moment through how we respond to what's happening now. It makes sense that we keep reaching for the past. Looking back on the past gives the mind something to work on. It feels productive, even though it's not, and it gives us the sense that we're doing the work. And for some, understanding their story is an important step. But there's a point where insight stops creating and starts becoming another way to stay stuck. And let's say we reach that aha, or at least a I'm okay with this experience point. We can clearly understand why we are the way we are and still react the same way. And that's because patterns don't just live in our memories and thoughts, they live in our nervous system. They live in the body. They live in our responses that happen before our conscious choice. From a neuroscience perspective, this is about patterning. Our brain's main job is to predict. So, of course, it uses our past experiences to anticipate what's coming next so that it can keep us safe. That means our nervous system often prefers what's familiar, even if it's uncomfortable. So, when we say, this is just how I am, what we're often describing is a well worn neural pathway. Patterns are efficient and don't require conscious effort. If you're around for some time, some of the recent nervous system work we did, you may remember that our nervous systems don't register time the same way the mind does. It relies on input and signals from our brains to know how it should be operating. So, for instance, if you are reliving a stressful memory, your nervous system is like, oh, okay, so that's what's happening now. And it starts giving all the signals, bump the cortisol, tighten the muscles, shorten the breath, and maybe even give our gut a nice little flip too, just in case. So if a pattern fires off today, the nervous system reacts just the same as it did when it originally formed. That's why time alone doesn't heal all wounds. The only thing that interrupts that loop is present moment awareness. If you want to know where your past is living, don't look at your memories, look at your reactions. The tightness in your chest, the urge to explain yourself, the impulse to shut down, overfunction, or react defensively. That's the past happening in the present, and we don't need to revisit the original event to work with it. We need to notice how it's expressing itself now. One of the clearest places this shows up is in our decision making. I do have a video on mindful decision making. If you want to learn more about that, I will put it in the description. But for now, pay attention to the questions you ask yourselves. Pay attention to the question you ask when you're trying to decide something. If you're asking, well, what happened last time, or how do I keep this from going wrong, you're not choosing from your true self. You're reacting from old patterns. Those questions aren't wrong, they're just rooted in the past. A present based question sounds more like, does this feel right for me right now? Not forever, not in every possible outcome, just right now. Patterns look backwards for certainty. Presence check inward for alignment. With present moment awareness being the first skill of mindfulness, there's not too many of my videos that don't offer practices we can use to sharpen our skill. But of course, I have some for you today. So practice number 1, pause before your next thought. Let's try this one now. Wherever you are, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and gently ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be. Don't try to stop thinking. Don't try to choose a thought. Just notice the space before it arrives. That gap is important. If a new thought didn't come this time, try it again after this video, noticing the space between to give yourself a little bit more time with it. But that gap is a moment where you're not inside the pattern yet. That's presence. Even a few seconds of that space can change how the nervous system responds. Patterns are reinforced in the body, not just the mind. So awareness has to include the body if we want real change. When we bring attention into physical sensations, we send a signal of safety to the nervous system. It's letting it know, we're here, we're now. And that's what allows old responses and patterns to soften. So, practice number 2 is body awareness. It can look like many things, but try now to bring your attention to your shoulders, not to fix or judge, just to notice how they are doing. Are they lifted and braced or relaxed? Notice your face, jaw, and brow. Notice your back, your hips, and your gut. Not changing, just noticing sensations. Awareness itself is regulating. If you notice any tension in those areas we just visited, maybe real quick return to them with a deep breath and invite them to relax. All right, practice number 3 is to take that body awareness from our internal state and systems to just directly outside of our body by noticing the support and touch points. Whether you are sitting or standing right now, notice the support beneath you, how you sit on the chair, the sensations of your feet on the floor. Maybe your back is against something solid. If it feels helpful, place your hands on your thighs or gently press your feet into the ground. Support brings you into the present moment, and patterns can't hold their grip for long when you are truly here. So when something activates you this week, try this. Pause, come into your body, and notice your support. And instead of asking, why is this happening, ask, what feels aligned right now? Aligned doesn't mean easy, and it doesn't mean comfortable. It means honest and present. Friend, you don't need more time to understand your past. You're not broken if you're still haunted by the hard memories, and you don't need to relive it or fix it. You need more moments of presence, because the present, the now, is the only place where patterns loosen, choice becomes possible, and the past finally stops running the show. I'm curious how this idea lands for you when you think about how you've related to your patterns before compared with this idea of presence. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with me, friends. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.